I want to talk to you for a moment about the Prime Minister's speech at the weekend. He has been criticised, hasn't he, for comparing the struggle, the current struggle, the ongoing situation for many, many people living in Ukraine where they're fighting a Russian invasion. He compared that to people in Britain voting for Brexit. Do you think that was an appropriate comparison to make?
Look, I listened carefully to what the Prime Minister said, and first of all, I don't accept that he made some kind of direct comparison between the situation in Ukraine and the situation in the UK. I think what he was talking about, and to me it's self-evident from listening to his words, was the desire for self-determination, which is strong in people across the world. No matter what situation you're in, what country you're in, people have a strong desire for self-determination. That was a general point, but to suggest he was trying to somehow say what's going on in Ukraine and the UK was somehow comparable, I mean, that was not the case.
But many other people have interpreted his comments differently, haven't we? I'll give you, there's quite a few comments. I'll tell you what Donald Tusk said, former president of the European Council. He called the comments offensive. Do you think that maybe Boris Johnson made a mistake?
No, I don't. I think what he was talking about was this desire for self-determination. And when it comes to Boris Johnson and Ukraine, it's hard to find any world leader that has done more to support Ukraine at this time, whether that's with military support, it's humanitarian support, it's support internationally. And he's a prime minister that is talking to President Zelensky of Ukraine on a very regular basis, offering whatever support that we can as a country. And it's right that we have that kind of approach to Ukraine.
Would you say that mentioning the Ukraine and the awful situation that country is in at the moment, in this context, was wrong?
The Prime Minister was not trying to make a direct comparison.
But he did mention Ukraine in the same sentence as Brexit.
But it wasn't an attempt to somehow say the situations are similar in any way whatsoever. I think it's spurious really to suggest that. What he was talking about was, as I say, about just a general desire for self-determination in people everywhere, no matter what their circumstance, no matter what their country, no matter where they live.
He actually said that Ukrainians had the instinct to choose freedom. These are his words, and cited the 2016 vote to leave the EU as a recent example of people choosing freedom. I know it's the instinct of the people of this country, like the people of Ukraine, to choose freedom. That's a comparison.
He's talking about the right to self-determination for everyone, the desire that people have. And I don't think it was a direct comparison in any way, and I just think that to sort of for someone to keep labouring this point and saying it's some kind of direct comparison between the two with the current situations that both countries face is just spurious.
I'll stop labouring that point. I'll move on to cost of living, because the Chancellor has promised, hasn't he, that the government.
And I know that it's the instinct of the people of this country, like the people of Ukraine, to choose freedom every time. I can give you a couple of famous recent examples. When the British people voted for Brexit in such large numbers, I don't believe it was because they were remotely hostile to foreigners. It's because they wanted to be free, to do things differently, and for this country to be able to run itself.